We're going to be to the day 3 of the AI Impact Forum. This is our August edition, August of 2026. And I'm saying this because every month we're going to have a different offerings. This is a very, very active practice. We're doing consultancy, AI arbitrage, as well as implementation for the small businesses and mid-sized businesses as well. Let me jump into the slides and let's get us through the first chunk and first segment of today. So today is about the ownership. It's about owning some piece of either real estate or your business. So we're gonna hear from two great individuals today. As much as I really enjoy always conversations with professors, today we'll see operators and how they built and what they are gonna be doing. So what part of your judgment can a machine actually replace? So this is what is happening right now. Everyone is selling you AI as an option about this, but almost no one is even carried the risk of being wrong. So today you will actually hear from those that are implementing, building, and at the same time leveraging properly the automations and technology. So how today runs, we're really gonna go over a little bit more about the ecosystem and as well the solutions that we have available, what we have built, what it costs, and how to get into. And 2 p.m. session will go a little bit more about the community networking, as well as the ultimate products that we have, which is the business in a box, as well as the community in a box. And I'll talk about the caregiver opportunities and really looking at this completely differently after 2 years of spending time as a primary caregiver for somebody that I love. So QA and open discussions will go after 2 speakers. So Fernando will come in around 3 o'clock. He will present the deck. Thomas is actually attending a tennis event right now. So he's in Cincinnati. Today is I think Polish day. So we'll see if we will be able to snack out for a few minutes. If not, I am ready to prepare and cover the presentation for him. And we'll probably record something with Thomas specifically to make sure that we present him well in this network and ecosystem. So on Thursday, we were talking about the systems. Yesterday, we talked about the human factor, about the people. And today, well, who owns what and how that transformation is taking place right now. So my really simple phrase is that tools do not transform an organization. It's always people do. But somebody that has to own the thing, carry the task, well, they always can be wrong. So putting the layer of protection and those guardrails and policies, well, this is a way to pull it all together. But this is the part that nobody yet automated. And that's the easiest way to really save time and become more productive. So what do we do and what are our programs costs? And I think it's a really, really great option for a lot of people. You can always book a call with us, but I'm really inviting you to specific workshops. Right now, the portal is free and for the conversational access. So this is an entry point to the ecosystem, as you can still have the conversational access, as well as well, show up at our open office hours starting next week. When I talk about the AI arbitrage, it's a it's not a consultancy. It's basically matching business owners with the vendors and suppliers, solution providers, and within our network, those are trusted service providers. And I do have access to about 400 great organizations that that been on the forefront of really deploying AI and building systems for others. AI arbitrage is such a great way of well, basically me providing the solutions that I know will make sense for that organization, because I always start with that consultancy part. And the confidence is going up, right? So we see that 81 business leaders say that AI helped them hit their goals, which is great. 27% actually discuss it. So I never put a formal agenda. And I truly believe this gap is actually going to close by the end of this year. 40% owners are trained, while 78% of their staff already use it every day with no policy and nobody watching. That's the potential threat. And we need to ensure that the tools are set up correctly and there is no exposure. So, and that's what I can help you with, looking at the different aspects of the organization and different systems that you have, because the integration and building up the AI native business or AI enhanced business is changing. It's changing every week. So if you're gonna come back in November for our forum that will be closing a year, well, you will see completely different presentation, because the life will change for those that are participating in our programs. So nobody is short of tools. They are short of a decision. So every business in this room already has access to the same technology, and the businesses beating them are those that are leveraging that technology correctly. What's missing is somebody deciding what gets used, what's off limit, who owns it, and what happens when it is wrong. That is change management, the oldest work in organizations that now can be enhanced with the great productivity tools. I mentioned consultancy, advisor. We do have course, but the consultancy is not a course, because why courses fail? You know, training dies at your desk. People finish the course, go back to their own things, and nothing is set up. What we are doing inside a week, they're going back to the old ways, to the old habits. And that's why yesterday we were talking about the mindset shift changes, because you really need to spend a little bit time with those tools and the strategies to really understand where it fits in your work life, to make sure that that you are gonna be feeling great and performing on a daily basis. So what do I do instead? I set up while you watch. So your accounts, your folders, your files, saying where they belong. You keep it, and I leave. I do that through the consultancy, through screen sharing, through the discussions with the principals, with the business owners, and within the boardrooms. Those are the same type of discussions. What you own after the engagement? No, you own the system. You do not own the subscription to me. Guardrails are written down, and you got owners for everything that is going to be deployed, either through 4-week commitments, 8-week commitments, and I will talk about the most important ones a little bit later on. So what do we sell? You really don't have to guess. So today I'm gonna unveil everything from that perspective, as this is the closing day of the seminar and forum, the all-day live workshops and the products are available. We'll be talking about the live workshops. So the format is 4 weeks, interactive. You're actually coming back to this same platform where we are doing the engagements, and I'll show you a little bit different direction because we just built that on that portal. So those are live workshops, cohorts, big difference because this is a work to have access to your systems. I will know only what you are sharing, the solutions that I can think of for your situation. For the cohorts, think about it as a almost 3-month engagement where I really serve you from the perspective of being a consultant, providing AI arbitrage or implementations, but that's why we are stretching it and building it as a cohort so we can create that camaraderie between the other business owners, right? I know that business ownership, sometimes it's a lonely venture, and that's why my path was always talking through the business networking groups, figuring out what are the best contacts for what I am doing. And right now, that community in a box and the business in a box offerings are really quite strengthened from the being able to deploy them relatively quickly without hitches, without problems. So those are the QR codes. We got 6 different programs, and let me just jump into it because there are small differences based on your career, I would say, or based on what you still want to be doing. So AI enhanced real estate profession. This is, I would say, the ultimate workshop for the real estate agents, real estate investors, because in a week 1, we'll basically map your operating system and where the time and where there are leaks, how to troubleshoot it. So it's a strategy session during the week 1. Week 2, and at that point, I'll already give you those blueprints. We're gonna start rebuilding at least one deal workflow with AI end to end. So you're gonna have something working for you week 1. Week 3, we're gonna be deploying at least one AI worker that runs without you. And there are different ways to get there. And depending on what resources or solutions you are currently have, well, we'll be doing it the right way. And week 4, you can probably share most of this information to your team as the quality and we're really doing train the trainer type of engagements. But for the business owners and the real estate professionals, well, you are the business owner. Sometimes you might have a team of other agents working with you or in a group. So that is probably the best setting. Come in for those type of trainings to just start to see if there is a sense to invest in something bigger or lengthier, but maybe you even not gonna need it. So I'm telling you that within the 4 weeks, you can learn a lot, and we do it live. So that's why those are live sessions. Yes, we'll be doing the recordings. We're doing the recordings so we can actually serve you much better. So when you are coming in for the conversations and you are asking the right questions, well, the systems can really enhance and answer the questions much quicker. And that's what we are using. That's what we are leveraging in our education as well right now. Next one is AI sales engine. So I would say anyone that is selling something to others, you will get a lot of different frameworks, not only AI, but if you understand the sales mindset, we will be able to enhance that. If you don't have that yet, well, we can train you on a sales techniques as well. In a week one, we'll be doing mapping the pipeline, and everything is starting from there. Gonna build the proposals and follow-up sequences depending on what you're doing, right? You might have a great system, and maybe you just need some small tweaking from that perspective. And then deploy objection scripts and pipeline intelligence in week three. And then you're starting your 30-day rollout for either for your teams or for the individuals that work with you, because you will get those resources. You will get access to the portal, and you will get all the systems put together on paper. And we are also gonna be building you your own dedicated page, so you can leverage and use the resources that we provide through the Pure Experts or Total TV, Total TV marketing agency, and everything that we are doing in this cohesive platform. So AI marketing and content studio, this is exactly what is available for anyone that has the good vision, because you can do it yourself. And if I'm talking to any digital creators right now, this is probably one of the most important workshops or courses that you will take, because you will unlock so much more from the automation perspective and content creation. So we'll be talking about it at the hour 2, because the video and audio processing, well, you really need to have those systems working for you well. Next one, AI finance and about investments, and then really finance. Fernando today will be absolutely sharing even more information about the finance, cash flow, but because of the asset class of the investments that Fernando is doing, it is actually more about the tax advantage accounts, and that's how the compounding of the investments can happen. So what we do on this workshop, on that course, well, we're really digging deeper into your financial situation. I'm not a financial advisor, please understand that, but well, I can work as a CPA, or we can set up the systems that really work for you, rebuilding your all structures with the finance, depending on what you use currently. So if you use some systems, well, we can enhance them, or we can plug into them. If you are looking for that total transformation, within 4 weeks, yes, I can show you how you can raise and build your own systems that just need the plugins with other financial reporting systems. And the setup is relatively simple, but yes, it takes 4 weeks to get this really covered, and trying to do it on your own, I would absolutely not recommend that. Yes, you can. We are doing this the right way. So that's why I'm inviting you to the specific workshops and courses. And then AI operations and the back office. So when I'm talking with the potential trusted service providers that we are looking for this network, yes, in a day or two, I can build you a front page website. Front page website is nothing in comparison to your back office that you need to set up. We're gonna work on your SOPs, your structures, but then if you're running and operating a small business, you really need to learn about invoicing, about making sure that the prospects pay you. If you're working with the contractors, well, that is also a way to ensure that everything stays on track within the systems that you can customize for yourself. And next one is probably the most important one. So for me, this is AI Family Resilience Program, because within this program, I touch on everything, right? You need to have a family finances set You need to have some kind of plan for your life, and sometimes marketing and sales techniques are useful in it. We definitely are focusing on those operating systems, as well as really showing the families how to leverage them in their own households, to deploy them to work for the family togetherness. And I'll talk about the like multi-generational living, because that's what I see is possible right now. And our solutions are definitely going to be quite helpful from that perspective. And everything can be done within 30 days. Please understand that depending on your skill level or understanding of the technology, marketing, sales, finance, I can give you additional information, or that's what we really can customize in our conversations during the live sessions. So the live sessions are quite important. We're just trying to make it easy. And really, as an ecosystem, for me, it's easy to give you a lunch pass and really do it so you don't have to even spend that $89. But please register and make sure that you will tell me, hey, so I chose that 3-month lunch pass, and I would like to take a course, right? It still need to communicate with us appropriately. It's gonna be super easy, right? We got email support, we got phone support, and that's why we do have an open office hours, so you can actually come in and ask questions, and that's what the whole focus is. I wanted to present really the app access pass, but believe me, within the last year we have built a lot. So inside our ecosystem, and this is under the community, and we also have an additional page called apps that is really helpful for the even small business owners, but anyone that would like to learn in a cohesive way. So, and Sal, can you actually check this one, because this is the new page, and I wanted to ensure that I got all the products in one page. So I'll leave it for 2 minutes. I'm gonna do a quick hydration break, and I'll be right back. Just 1 minute. Not working. Not good. All right, so I'm gonna take this off. Just checking myself quickly. Oh, it's working for me. So can you check? Because it's taking me to the page. Yeah, yeah. So this is the simplest page where you can actually get engaged with us by making some small payment. It also shows other membership options. And I will be talking about the trusted service provider membership monthly, because that's probably the most and the simplest way to get started with us, and you will see what kind of benefits you're getting at that level. So I don't think anyone offers that at that point. 3 levels, and none of them are coding. So we start with that level 1. the rudimentary is AI champion. So this is the person in an organization who actually uses and it shows it to other. So usually not the boss. Champion needs to be somebody that is maybe in a supervisory management level and would like to learn how to be more productive at work and in life. Level 2 is AI director. So you own the guardrails, you own the policies, you own the projects. As an AI consultant, well, we can actually come and to the business and to ensure that we help those that are going through those transformations. It's all happening through the intake information. We really have a full strategy to do it, and we're gonna be doing more of specifically business focus trainings and consultancy. Okay. I am actually, so I went through this very quickly. So let me see if I can actually go back to the system. So I wanted to show exactly where the items are. So I'm gonna go to that Zoom page because this is the easiest way to find us and link back. Zoom.pureexperts.ai houses all those meetings, and we really do it kind of visually. So it's simple, but here's the plan, and that's really what we are gonna be doing starting next week. At 2 p.m., we're just gonna be doing those 30-minute setups. Since I am creating podcasts, we are definitely gonna be doing speaker spotlights and interviews virtually at 3 p.m. And the trainings are starting. I added a really, I'm gonna call it a fun session, because that is gonna be for the alliance members and the founders of the businesses. At 11, let's do a walk and talk. I know that sometimes as a business owners, we sit in front of computer, and I know that I am spending also significant amount of time in front of computer right now, and that's not super healthy for you. So I do have a treadmill. We do walk and talk. If anyone wants to take us on the phone and have a conversation and do a walk and talk, ask questions, that's a Tuesday time at 11. We'll hold on to this as long as we can, but I know that sooner or later my mornings are gonna change specifically to for the consultancies in the mornings. So in the mornings, I'm gonna have either 1 hour or 3 hour sessions with the business owners specifically. But then 2 p.m. we'll continue doing the powerhouse networking, showcasing connection, and really promoting other businesses based on their locality. And I'll cover that shortly as well. And the workshop for that AI fluent real estate professional is at 3 p.m. on Tuesdays. If this is conflicting with somebody else's time, well, please be aware. It's still gonna be recorded. You're gonna have access to your own kind of portal where you can get that information. You will have conversational access through our community pages. And we're just trying to make it easy for the principals, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, business owners to really easily find themselves here. The workshop that I was talking about, the family resilience, that is 3 p.m. on Wednesdays. Thursdays are really the cohort previews. So for the business owners that know, you know what, yeah, I need to get through the transformational process. It's not gonna be cheap, but we need to do it as a business owners. You need to make a commitment. So that's what I'm also inviting you to. On Fridays, we're gonna start also building the specific podcast, but Friday discussions. I'm definitely gonna go back to that security, safety, because the podcast will be, like I mentioned, for the most vulnerable Uh, and that's why we're gonna be doing a lot of education from that perspective. So families do not make mistakes, or we try to make sure that nobody's taken advantage by the systems. And yeah, there are many systems. I'm not gonna talk about the political systems. I'm talking about the systems that exist. And there is a lot of good things coming with AI, but there's, on a contrary, there's also, I think, from the threat management perspective, as well as ensuring safety and security of your employees, there's a lot of gaps that quite a few organizations need to close relatively quickly. Imagine the criminals are leveraging the same technology, so they will get smarter. As a professionals, well, we always did that. We need to circumvent that. We need to make sure that the systems are designed to protect you, your family, your loved ones, and that's what we can explain to you as well. I'm gonna jump back, skip that, and we're gonna go back to this in a second. I like the pacing, so I'm gonna go one more segment, and I think we're gonna do something more interactive during that hour two. So I will be able to actually show you the collaterals, the assets that are available. You can clone them for yourself, right? So you can take them and build yourself that ecosystem. But I'll be digging deeper into what business in a box is and what community in a box is, as this is a quite big difference. We started hinting about this with yesterday when we had the presentation by Center for Aggression Management, because it is all super aligned with our path from that perspective. So Sal, I'm gonna actually, yeah, I'm gonna take a longer break. Do you mind? I need to run. But I don't want to change, and I don't want to go back to the slides. So can we just leave this on and no, I got 2 more minutes. Let's go through it. I just don't want it to burn too much material in a short period of time, but I think that's what we are actually doing, trying to deliver a lot of information in a short period of time. That's why all of this is recorded. That's why you actually have access to the community, where you can figure out, hey, where I want to start, right? Because we got 5 things under one roof, right? We got a digital marketing agency. We do have a AI automation agency. The workshops, cohorts, everything is running under Business Academy. And then, well, incubator and accelerator is something that is the most important and most interesting to me. So I can actually show the solutions to people that are competent and caring, and they can run with this, and they can start their own small businesses, larger businesses, ventures as well. Because if somebody's gonna come with a great idea, well, I'll help you incubate it. No ifs or buts. This is that type of a cohort and an ecosystem, because the community and alliance is really what is controlling everything. So under the Block by Block AI Safety and Security Alliance, we build those rules and the strategies so we can really deploy them in effective ways to other businesses. So it is all connected together. So what I'm saying, we build, not just teach. You can get websites, funnels, campaigns, workflows, and AI workers through the automation agency. Jump into a free discovery session. This is set up right now. The free discovery sessions are up to 25 minutes. Please do not book that if you don't have questions that, or if you do have questions that I can answer maybe during the open office hours. I really would rather ask you to join the open office hours. If you do have a project, if you do have something that, yeah, I need consultant, let's figure out the path, please schedule the one-on-one session. Otherwise, I'll give you the same information at the open office hours. So let's talk about this. I really wanted to go deep into this. So I am actually need to verify that this page works. And or the QR code. Okay, so this QR code takes you directly to the payment, which is okay. So if you're gonna actually pay for this, think about it. You are becoming a trusted service provider, but there is a screening step, right? So a professional who has been through our training and holds a real license. We are looking for the licensed professionals. We are looking for somebody that is a true professional. That we can find you, by a community, by somebody else. If you are true a solopreneur and you do not have your company being set up correctly, we can help, but let's have those conversations. The month 2 for the trusted service providers, I take this quite seriously. We're gonna be doing a full criminal history check as well as background checks for anyone that is gonna be. I'm pretty sure most of the trusted service providers will be very, very happy with what we're gonna install for them or build for them. So I really want to work with people that are professional, competent, and caring. And I mentioned that as well. This is not an endorsement. We do not warranty or anybody's work, and will never be. It is a small filter, and the filter is the value for the connections, because at that $27 monthly subscription level, I'm going to be looking for a lot of homeowners that want to get through those transformations, and they will have access to those trusted service providers. And yes, there is a small discount that I'm asking those trusted service providers to provide to other members in our ecosystem. And there's even more from the perspective of building an account that will give back. So this is a complication that I added probably 2 months ago, and I think it's actually quite fun. It's hard to explain, so I'll be doing specific sessions for that trusted service provider network. So there's gonna be even easier understanding of what is the opportunity, how it can be quite revolutionary for a lot of small business owners and mid-sized business owners to engage at that level. Because, like I mentioned, we're gonna start doing your front end, and if you have a web page beautifully designed because your daughter or son build it for you, that's great. That is a way to go. What we are doing is slightly different, because we strongly encourage every trusted service provider or everyone that is building their business to first invest in a hardware, because now the hardware is I'm talking about your computer. You can still do everything from your phone. In order to be productive, I truly believe you need the computer right now, because of the opportunities that exist with either Codex or Cloud Code. Those are opportunities that were not existent. Well, 6 months ago, it was existent. It was existent under different forms, but now it's becoming so much easy to do. So basically, during the workshops, we are working with either Anthropic code or OpenAI code on your computers. So that's why I'm talking always about, please make sure that you are using the computer that has enough resources based on what your vision is of what you are building. Otherwise, it's gonna be a really unhappy experience. But you really don't need to do it. There are so many other great services. And during the workshops, I actually show you, okay, so this one behaves this way, and you can have your workspaces set up here. And I'm just gonna be showing options, but the easiest thing is to actually have that discussion with me to figure out, okay, so you're using this system right now, how we can connect this, how we can really ensure that we are leveraging the connections, or either through the APIs or MCP servers, to make sure that you are building and you are architecturing or redoing your small business at the same time when you are becoming a trusted service provider. And the way that I explain that always is, come spend about 2 hours per week with us. And I think your mindset will really change after about 4 weeks, because that is quite achievable, and that is quite open right now for anyone that is happy in life and they can concentrate and focus on building those strategies for themselves. Do it differently, right? Everybody's been doing it one way. We got the frameworks and we got the solutions that will give you those tools right away, and you can grow from that perspective always. So Sal, I am gonna actually leave that on. If you can take us offline in 2-3 minutes, but I'm just gonna leave this those QR codes for a few minutes. We'll see. This is for the contractors. This is for the individuals that are running and operating small businesses and would like to work with us, work with those that can deliver those solutions as well. And from the marketing perspective and marketing agency perspective, yes, you're getting your exposure within the network. So that's why we're able to run ads on a TV, just to help and promote other businesses, as this is a simple setup for the ecosystem. So I'll see you guys in 15 minutes or so. Thank you.
And dinos whisper a park awaits, sensory worlds for heaven's sake. Monkey grows where adventure starts.
All right, well, we are back at hour 2 on Saturday. So thank you for coming back, and let's jump back to the presentation. So we covered the trusted service provider, and really anyone that is gonna call. Yeah, we got a lot of phone numbers as well, which we are really not promoting today. But Sal, there is that one phone number, that 847. I think that's the best phone number to really use. So when you go to pureexperts.com, the main number is definitely hidden somewhere. This is the main number. But do you want to do the demo, Sal? I think that might be, call that number and start talking with him with this. That might be a cool demo right now. Yeah. So if you want to just grab your phone and call it, or we should have talked about it. Maybe somebody else in that room would like to do that. No, don't do it at the same time. I think I would like you to just call and do the demo. I can do it myself. So let me do it maybe myself. I'll ask them different questions. But so this is the number that we have really set up for the information. Those that have access to my cell phone number, that's still probably the best way to get in hold of us. But this phone number is now fully automated. It's nothing special, but it takes the phone calls, can book appointments, and really specifically talk about how it is working. So I'm calling it right now. I'll put this on a speakerphone. We'll see how the demo is going to work.
Hey, you have reached Pure Experts. This is Olivia. How can I help you today?
Hi, Olivia. So what is the Pure Experts?
Thanks for asking. I think you might mean Pure Experts. Just to clarify, there isn't a Pure Express here. Pure Experts is all about helping business owners and professionals grow with AI, training, workshops, consulting, and a supportive community. We offer things like boot camps, corporate training, and certifications, plus a media platform with resources and recordings. Right now, our main event is the AI Impact Forum, a 3-day virtual event that just wrapped up today, August 15th. If you're interested in ongoing live sessions or want to book a consultation, I can get you set up. Would you like to share your name and email so I can send you the details?
You know, so if I share my contact information, what are you going to do with this?
Great question. If you share your name, email, and mobile number, I'll use them just to text and email you the link to our ongoing live sessions or a consultation, whichever you prefer. We don't share your info with anyone outside Pure Experts, and you won't get any spam. It's just so you can easily access what you're interested in. If you ever want to stop hearing from us, just let me know and I'll take care of it right away. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds good. What about, do you guys do like a outbound calling as well?
Yes, we do make outbound calls from time to time, usually to follow up with people who've shown interest in our events, workshops, or consultations. If you ever want to opt out of those calls, just let me know and I'll make sure you're removed from our call list right away. Otherwise, we keep it respectful and only reach out if there's something relevant for you.
Alrighty, thank you very much. I'll call back, or I got access to the website right now, so thank you.
You're welcome. If you need anything else, just give us a call.
Yeah. So if you're actually gonna start talking and you're gonna actually share your information, we'll get your email, we'll get your phone number, so you can get on at least our mailing list. That way, the information will be coming to you at much more timely, because it is timely. We go week by week with our trainings, so I really want to communicate well with those that might be using it and joining us for those workshops during the week. I told that this is a community network, and we do have licensed products. So you run your own community network. That's the community in a box that I'll fully explain today. So your employees, your people, your relationships, your solutions operating under the standards of that block by block AI Safety and Security Alliance, which exists and everything is fully developed, and we have those solutions, so we can pass on those solutions to you very, very easily. And I mentioned simple license. This is not a franchise, even though I probably give you almost the same amount of solutions and setups as you are buying a franchise from other business. This is just a license, and I do it very, very specifically. So I am not doing a franchise. So a franchise sells you a system and territory, right? Disclosure documents, fee structures, exclusive zones, a lot of rule books and everything, right? Plus, the franchises are very, very regulated, especially in Illinois. What I did, I just extend you a simple license. So you get access to the room, but you are building your own community, leveraging our systems and solutions, and as quickly as possible. We really want to give you those solutions, and that's why I started talking. Yes, there needs to be some hardware piece in your location, or just have a laptop that you can move around with, and you are in a business. So that is something that was not really available just a few months ago, but now we can walk almost everybody that has a simple baseline information to really deploy that. We do that in 30 days, right? So you always talk either with me or with our virtual assistants. Please understand that if you want, we can really give you those type of solutions, like a phone answering. We can do whatever you can think of on your website. For example, yeah, next time I'll just do the demo of like the orbs that are on a website that serve the same thing as you basically calling the phone number. So that's might be simple and fun way for other businesses to engage with their clients, and that's what we are happy to install for you as well. So we do not do exclusive territories. We do not lock you to the location. However, please think this way: the businesses that you are creating, well, they are probably much more local than national and global at the beginning. So if you are operating a construction business or any services for the homeowners, let me know what's your preferred zip code, because otherwise it's not gonna work within the system. And I'm just looking for to provide the solutions for the homeowners as well as businesses that are in some specific location. It's so much easier that way, but that's why I do operate right now a B mastermind, which is the overreaching mastermind. But we're starting to develop masterminds for the specific villages, specific cities. We got Glenview Mastermind, and I think Des Plaines Mastermind will be up in about 4 weeks as well, because we just need to redeploy it under the current structures. So imagine you are not buying software, you're just joining a standard. I am not selling SaaS software. We provide solutions. So it's so different from the franchise, but with the franchise, you buy the manual, login, you go through their training. Yes, we'll provide you with the training, but you really don't need to be a franchise, depending on what you're doing, right? Depending on what your license is, what your specialization is, and what you want to be accomplishing. We can help you from that perspective on a schedule, as well as strategy sessions that are included with everything that we're doing. So I mentioned how this works, but the step one is the simple point of entry academy. I just want you to learn it properly with the workshops and cohorts. It's very structured, not a video you never finish. It's really a great methodologies to ensure that we help you from one perspective, another perspective, and we kind of increase and create a growth for the business or self-proprietor. And then the next step is thinking about the incubator. So build your own thing. We help you. Your own systems are operating this, right? You can do it at your own pace. Accelerator is specifically designed to provide growth, and operators that already have the scaffolding, started building, started getting leads. Maybe you just need slightly different solutions and redirect a few projects. We can definitely work on that. But most people start with a simple $27 subscription. You can decide later. It's as simple. I'm trying to make it the least amount of complications, and you still need to understand that you are doing the work when you're coming to the workshops and certification programs. yes, I can sell you other products, other solutions. I still would like to talk with the business owners and everybody that is coming to the ecosystem, because I want to make sure that you understand that there is more and more for those that are joining. So now I'm gonna just switch completely, and I will start talking about the passion project. So this is the Abundance Health Systems Hubs, and I am currently going to tell you about one setup that I did, and now it's I ended up living it, and that's why the ecosystem is designed to be very, very supportive. So last 2 years, I've been a primary caregiver for my mother, who has got quite a lot conditions, but it was a need. So at this point, she spent last, I think, 3 weeks in a rehab place, and coming back, just had the delivery of the hospital bed over here as well. And it's different care, but I just trying to resolve the problems. So when parents are isolated, and lost in a technology, I want to encourage children or younger generations, especially if you want to help them. This is gonna be as easy as possible to make sure that there is a connection with your loved ones, and we can connect you with other associations, with other support groups, just to make sure that you start talking, reaching out. And the most important aspect of this is to start creating memory care segments. So I'll mention about that. And that's why I do have that AI Family Resilience Program, because this is about the household, right? It's not a facility, but it can be, multi-generational on purpose, where you have parents, kids, and their grandkids also living in a one place. And now some people do it on purpose. For me, this is called co-living, and that's why and that's why I like that name, and I like it so much that starting on I think on Wednesday, I'm gonna have my ads and everything running. It's gonna be rebranded to the Co-Living Guy. There's a web pages that will be coming. So there's a colivingguy.fun and a few others, but it is about having those conversations with caregivers and elderlies as well, if they need that type of help. So what we supply education and technology that well, yes, you're gonna have to purchase some equipment or some solutions, and I will walk you through proper setup of this for your household or for the loved ones, so no appointments are missed. So everything is coordinated, since we are not doing anything clinical, right? So I don't do diagnostics, I don't do the treatments, I don't do medical service of any kind. We are strictly education and technology. The care stays with the family and other professionals. So if you're already working with the home care agency, well, we can maybe also upscale and upskill that household, even if you are working with another agency. As I mentioned, the purpose of me doing evaluations and having conversations with the homeowners is not to do the diagnostic, it's to resolve problems, is to build the solutions that would help that household. And I am specifically focusing on the parents that have been living with some kind of disability or dementia, and it is specifically built to support the caregivers at the most, right? Since I have been a physical therapist, I do understand what is needed in a household to make it a livable and safe place for your loved ones. So this is a caregiver hub. So this is open right now. I'm looking for a caregivers. I'm looking for the caregivers that actually would like to explore and opportunities with doing it virtually. Those that are caregivers in a Chicagoland area, I'm not gonna necessarily say the city where it is, but actually north suburbs. So this is not a problem. But if you go to that page, the pro/caregiver, actually I'm gonna go there. So what I'm doing right now, I figure out. So I have been a scheduler at some of the organizations that so I've been a scheduler for the security agency, and then doing the schedules for some scheduling for the machines. Yeah, it helps me to see it from that perspective and create the custom solution. So what I did, I broken down the week to the segments. I really don't need somebody that is gonna be a live-in caregiver here. I would rather work with the specific shifts for the individuals, and we really trying to do it that we do have a coverage in the evening. I can take care of everything in the morning. That's not a problem. But really, who I'm looking for in a location, it's only that evening between 4 and 8 p.m. That is somebody that's gonna be coming in. Otherwise, all those shifts, especially the night shift, is done through the virtual connection and a virtual portal. And you're really gonna get a lot of training of what the job is. So we'll actually talk about it during the quick discovery calls. You can please email that support Pure Experts support at pureexperts.com. That is really the best email for everything that we are doing, and you can ask specific questions about this opportunity. I'm talking about this as an opportunity because I know that there's about 1/3 of the families in the United States is in a similar situation. So meaning that you either chose to take care of your parent, or well, there's a need that you are a caregiver. So if you are that caregiver and you are doing something nice for your parents, I hope that you are not feeling stuck and without the resources. Please connect with us. That's why we're doing the virtual sessions. That's why we are doing this at the different times. And we're trying to build that really powerful support system. And I'll be happy to converse with any family that is on that kind of decision making brink. That the loved one maybe we need to actually needs to go to the rehab or to the facility. And yes, there are facilities that provide great care. I can actually connect you with 2 or 3 people that would even spend more time with you, give you those resources, so you're not guessing. So you want to talk with somebody that can help you from that perspective. But so it's a path for me, right? The virtual caregivers, I'm really looking for people that are smart. They want to have the connection with the proper network, but they want to start thinking about, yes, I'm gonna be probably taking care of my mom or dad for the next few months. Well, let's set it up the best for myself, for her, for him, and for the whole family. So that requires conversations within the family members and the coordination. So that's why it is all set up this way. And I said, so I did about, combine about 20 years as a caregiver and a PT throughout my life. And I have seen a lot of different cases, and I know the patterns to ensure that this is set up correctly. Within this, we're still gonna be talking about what it is. Since I do have that knowledge, I am setting up like a AI doctor for that patient. This is not what we're gonna offer for others unless we're gonna have a clear disclosures, clear strategies, and frankly, the setups of the AI doctor, I am gonna actually connect with other home care agencies so that deployment is much smoother because that is a solution that again very few people offer, and we do. So AI scheduler and then connection. Connection is done through the virtual platform as well. However, what's the most important, and you can imagine, caregiving and then security guy who was deploying security systems in the organizations. Well, I can figure out the active monitoring because right now that's the biggest opportunity, right? For the next probably 2 months, I'm still gonna be doing the full human overlooking because well, I need to train the models. I need to make sure that they recognize everything correctly. Plus, there are some specific asks that I have for custom items for the specific patients. So emergency protocol engine, and that's the most fun that I had. You know, you got SOPs, you got access to everything. So if you see some behavior that you do not recognize or the patient is not responsive, well, we got the whole triage and a simple way of reaching out to somebody that is in a next room or making sure that there is always somebody present in those households, depending on a health and conditions of the individual. And also on that page, I also share that Zoom page because it's the same redirect, so you can ask questions. You know, just tell me right away, hey Andy, I'm here for the caregiving lessons because this is the situation, and we'll start working. But I still probably gonna encourage you to take that AI Family Resilience Program for the 4 weeks and the path. So I started talking about this yesterday, but independent consultant path is something that is completely different, but we are not gonna cover that today. What is the proof of concept, right? You can replicate this and you can copy this for your loved ones, and that's what I strongly encourage anyone to be doing. And let's go back. I'm hiring virtual caregivers, and I'm hiring the caregivers that want to work shift between 4 and 8. And you know what? I'm actually gonna add the morning shift as well. So between 8 a.m. to about noon, there's another 4-hour shift that I know will be covering. So if you are not actual caregiver, not the virtual one, reach out through the same webpage, and we'll start connecting. And yes, let's do the quick discovery or interview. We can do it on a Zoom, or if you just would like to come in and see the patient and have a conversation as well, please let me know, and I'll be happy to talk with you. So this is okay. So we went through that caregiver and virtual caregiver hub. That is really a simple way for families to think about leveraging AI. And again, that's why the caregiving aspect is important. And I'll talk more with the home care agency owners. So I think that's why I'm going caregivers. I know that I need my own caregivers and virtual caregivers. However, I think that biggest opportunity is to upscale and provide the training inside of the home care agencies, so you can resolve problems quicker, make sure that your employees are fully trained, because with the training from the CAPS, we can use those frameworks to also improve camaraderie in your agency and to make sure that every caregiver is protected and the patients are protected as well. So I mentioned that this is equipment based, and we have quite a few solutions, and I can point you out to the software solutions that you might want to use. You see that on every posts everywhere, gazillions of them. You need to be kind of precise of where you want to start and how you want to go with this. So the problem is, set it up, but this is where people quit. And most programs hand you a login and wish you good luck. The households that need the most help, I am building this on a specific hardware. So we do have a full leasing program for the equipment. So any type of computer that you might need, I do have them packaged specifically because it's easier. We can do a lease and a setup from that perspective. And I'm at this point, and probably until the end of this year, trying to stay and work exclusively on Macintosh computers. It's just, if somebody was working between Macintosh and the Windows, very, very similar, but yet different. I do like both, and there's nothing wrong with any. But for the leasing, right now we are doing Macintosh because that hardware is can get you through a little bit longer time. We're planning this to set it up always for like 3 to 5 years, right? So when you're investing, you're buying equipment, think only about 3 to 5 years that equipment will be in 5 years. Those computers are still going to be working. Are they going to be performing, or is it going to be even need for them to be performing? We'll figure that out, and we'll see that how the technology is changing. And I mentioned it is changing rapidly. So Windows is fine, but I do not support Windows right now through the equipment lease or any packages. But if you do have already a computer, let me know what it is. I got some minimum standards that I'm just not going to recommend you building the solutions on that computer if I don't know what it is, or because it's just I would be giving you wrong information, which I never want to do. And then give me 1 second. Yeah, this is important. So we're changing a little bit the path from the caregiving to now other businesses that we operate on, and they're part of this whole ecosystem. So same systems, different doors, and that's another opportunity for the property managers, for anybody that does have those 3, 5, 10 plus doors. Well, I really wanted to talk with you about the solutions that we have for the homeowners and property managers, the operations, the communication, the follow-up, the stuff that gets missed in those organizations. Well, we can really help you fix it in a very, very simple way. Another business that is a super small business, but I'm actually gonna be growing it to also provide the solutions with the computerized nodes that are really growing those businesses for other homeowners, right? So Grow with Microgreens, it's a simple production and distribution, and as well as education business, because we have real production, real customers. We do deliveries, and we do deliveries to the restaurants as well that would like to use our product inside of their organization. And for that, well, we help you with your marketing, with your programs as a restaurant. And if there are any restaurant owners that would like to actually grow and purchase our growing systems, so we can install that in your restaurant, and you can have fresh microgreens every day. That is another way to work with us. But as a restaurant business owner, you need to make those decisions. What is the best way to bring a healthy product to your customers? And okay, so the work that is not about the businesses, I mentioned there is a big mission, and there is a need for that. So that's why I'm pairing that AI family resilience, providing strategies, information, and really education, and then merging it with those that are caregivers. So you can think about this maybe in the future as a business that you are passionate about. So you can help other families, other individuals. For me, the concentration becomes by the projects that we'll be taking on, especially within the co-living aspect. So acquisitions of different properties that can be retrofitted to those co-living standards. That is the end goal from that perspective, to ensure that it is staying. It's always going to be updated, and that's how we want to share it with other families and with other individuals that are coming for the solutions, conversations, and camaraderie as well. And I mentioned day one about that block by block alliance, but this is such an important document for this ecosystem that I'm really asking, please read it, please understand it. It takes just a few minutes. It's a simple acknowledgement. And I see that I don't have a QR code, so the QR code will be going back to this page as well, but it's a blockbyblockalliance.com, blockbyblockalliance.com. All right, let's see. We got about 15 minutes before we're gonna take another break, and we're gonna connect with our speakers, and it is a few more minutes. So let's talk about what prompted me to really get moving and get set up the Pure Experts and all other organizations that work hand in hand within this ecosystem. So we've been taught that the work-life balance is important. For me, I'm looking at this, you can get to the work-life integration, not a balance. So for me, the balance, it says work and life are opposites, and you should trade one for the other. I don't think so. I think, 20 years in, I have never seen that work for an owner. So that is the mindset shift that makes a difference. You really need to think about your work as your work, especially if you're getting into that ownership level, or I mentioned investments. What is the integration? Build the business so it runs while you are living, right? That's what the systems are for. That's how you can buy back some of your time and compound, do few things at the same time. Make sure that you are not only thinking about one income stream, but think about multiple income streams for yourself and your family. So we tested, that's why I always say small groups, real destinations, because we do wellness travel as well. So we'll talk about this in a moment. So 2 hours of work a day from that perspective for the groups, for the connections. And that's why we are gonna be providing the opportunities for about 20, 25 hours of connection during the week, specifically so we can resolve the problem, so we can help you move forward and answer the questions that you might have, or really serve you from the perspective of not giving you wrong information, because we always start with those guardrails and policies and the setup, so we can always get on the strategy session as quickly as possible. I mentioned about 2 trips that I'm doing, small groups. It's work kept at 2 hours a day. Small business owners or anyone that can travel, right? If you have a business and you would like to automate it right now, if you're gonna join our programs, if you're gonna join our cohort, like a 3-month program, I cannot guarantee anything, right? I cannot tell you, oh yeah, your business is gonna be set so you can travel to Philippines and you'll be able to do it remotely. I don't know your situation. I don't know how smart you are, how long you've been leveraging those systems, or what is your expectations, how it can be deployed. So those are separate, those are optional. We are starting to take small deposits for those trips, and really so I'm not gonna be presenting it today. I'm gonna start really doing promotional videos and presentations for the Philippines and Thailand. Thailand is in 2027, so this is a cohesive practice and quite purposeful from that perspective. If you want to connect with me, you can connect on a trips, or if you are local to Chicagoland, we do attend quite a few business networking events, and we create workshops. So I know that I will be doing a workshop at this. This is the, I think, Accelerator Business Summit that takes place October 16th to 17th, and it's another business networking group, but since Martha had her birthday, happy birthday, Martha, I was not able to bring her to this conversation today, actually, because that was the plan. But we got, I think I got a purposeful conversation with Martha within the next 2 weeks. So we'll set it up as a session actually on Thursday in 2 weeks. We'll make those announcements. So it will be Martha and me. Martha is well, mathematician entrepreneur, and I like her mindset because she's always looking at the numbers first, and then well, pieces everything together from that perspective. So looking forward to that conversation in the next 2 weeks. And I am thinking this is almost it. Yes. So this is just a reminder. This is the easiest way to get on our Zoom sessions and to see the schedule. And I am just gonna leave this page on now, Sal, and I'm gonna take a break a little bit earlier, so we can go for 20 minutes on break. And if you can let me know if you're playing something, and if you can turn the TV back on. So I would appreciate it. And we're gonna be waiting for the speakers right now. So we'll be back at 3 o'clock, and I'll see you then. Słyszycie, tak? Też. Mhm. Tak, znaczy wyłączasz teraz, tak?
And dinos whisper.
Motivate me to start business.
All right, welcome back to our number three. We got Fernando Angelucci with us, and Mr. Nowicki will be joining us soon as well. So Fernando is going to cover, really talk about the asset class of self-storage from the investment perspective, and a little bit of really who Fernando is, how they do business under SSSE. So welcome, Fernando, to our AI Impact Forum, because that's the quite impactful asset class. So let's talk about it, and welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. So, can you see my screen all right? Intro to self-storage here. Perfect.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, just a little bit about myself. My name is Fernando Angelucci. I have done about $250 million of self-storage in the last 8 years. That's 55 facilities across 26 states. We have about 2 million net rentable square feet and a little over 900 passive investors. We have gone full circle on 39 deals with investors, producing a 57% average internal rate of return to those investors over that period. So one of the things that I always like to talk about is, why self-storage? I came up through the residential and multifamily side of the world, and I always kind of had the same issues. It didn't feel like a business because I was working too much in the business, spending 80 hours a week, doing 70 transactions a year to basically have nothing to show for it. When I switched into commercial real estate, I realized that self-storage was a good alternative. I didn't have the same problems via, the tenants, the toilets, the trash that keeps all landlords up at night. So here's what we're going to talk about. One of the highest returns across any asset class. It has a very good recession resilience, great leverage, easier management. There's a fragmented market, which produces some great opportunities, very low break-even occupancies, and then easy evictions. And we're using quotes around that because we actually don't have evictions. And then why it has such a high sticky factor, and then some ancillary profit centers that you can add on in addition to the monthly amounts that you charge for those storage units. So, highest asset class versus any other asset classes, highest return. If you look at there's a study done by the National Association of Real Estate Investment Trusts as well as YCharts, and they showed that over the study period, just shy of 30 years, the S&P returned about 11%. That 100,000 invested in 1994 would have been 1.6 million. Residential did a little bit better at 14.4, 3.7 million, 3.8 million, but self-storage produced on average 18.8% return annual. So that 100,000 invested compounded comes out to about $10.5 million. So you can see, even though jumping from 14.4 to 18.8%, that may not seem like a big difference, but when you realize the power of compounding interest, you realize how much of an additional gain that you get. So, recession resilience, a lot of us listening here probably went through the great financial crisis. There was some pretty heavy losses during that time. S&P 500 dropped about 22%, multifamily about 7%. Now, this is, numbers based on REITs. I know a lot of operators that were in the single family and multifamily business that lost everything. They were foreclosed. They went through bankruptcy. During that time, self-storage dropped only about 4%. And the reason for that is that self-storage, is a business that caters to people in transition. So when you have to downsize, when you have to move because you have a new job, those things affect the self-storage world. So, why is that? And when I look at the trends in the self-storage business, not only do we service those in the kind of the transition business, but also now we are kind of seeing this two-tiered um, economy where the days of buying a 5 bedroom ranch when you were 20 years old for 20 grand are long gone. So what you're starting to see is this affordability problem in the United States getting worse and worse, and people are opting to use self-storage as a permanent closet or an extension of their home, as opposed to paying an extra 50 to $100,000 for an extra bedroom, or if you're renting, extra 500 to $700 a month for an extra bedroom, you can go and rent a 10 by 10 self-storage unit for anywhere between $80 to $180 a month. So it just makes a lot more economic sense. Fast forward to another kind of major recession during the pandemic. Self-storage performed very well. According to TREP, which is a commercial mortgage-backed securities research firm, of the 1,700 CMBS loans that were made to self-storage facilities in the first 3 quarters of the pandemic, only 3 were delinquent. So that is a 0.17% delinquency rate. During that same time, multifamily was defaulting at a rate of 1,800% higher, or 18 times the default rate of self-storage. And it makes sense, right? People couldn't work from the office, kids couldn't go to school at school. So then all of a sudden you lose a bedroom or you lose 2 bedrooms, and you turn those into your office or your school, learning zone, and you have to put that furniture somewhere. And a lot of people put those into self-storage. During the first 2 years of the pandemic, we were seeing 80% year over year rent growth across our portfolio, which is astronomical numbers. So, like I said, best year on record, 2021. We had over 80%. Now, when it comes to safest loans equals best leverage, self-storage is one of those asset classes where the default rate has been very low in times of economic turmoil. There was a study done between 2011 and 2018, which we'll talk about here shortly. The other thing that's very important to banks, which then also guides whether they want to give you a loan, is what is the average loss per default? So it's not just did you default your loan, but when they had to get rid of that loan or take it off their books, how much did the bank actually lose? And because of these two things, banks are fighting over us to give us really great leverage when other asset classes are struggling to get great financing. So let's look at some of these studies. 2011 and 2018, this was done by Intex Solutions, and then there was also a Wells Fargo Securities study on this. As you can see, the self-storage default rates compared to the average, and then compared to, let's say, hotel, multifamily, retail, office, and industrial, it's a stark difference. I mean, in some cases, 4 to 8 times lower when it comes to the default rate. And then, the thing that the bank really cares about is, okay, fine, you stop paying your mortgage, but how much did we lose when we had to finally foreclose on you? And so what you can see is self-storage, again, is leading the pack, 3 to 4 times lower than the average of all real estate. And then when you compare it to some of the other property types like retail or office, you can see that it is much, much lower. So on average, when a loan was disposed, there's only about a 1.5% loss, and disposed and outstanding only a 0.8% loss. So to the bank, that's almost like you're breaking even. Less people equals less management. I always like to ask, who here thinks that they actually have passive income? And what we find out is what people think passive income isn't actually passive. It's very active. My very first self-storage facility that I bought in Yorkville, Illinois, which is kind of far suburb of Chicago, we spent about 4 hours a month on that facility to produce about $8,000 a month in NOI. So my time on that facility was about $2,000 an hour. So that is what I would call passive. Many smaller facilities are unmanned and can be automated, especially now where you have these large technology platforms coming into our industry and allowing for ease of operations from literally across the world, just using a cell phone. So there's things like automated keypad entry and exit, even automated locking units where if someone does not pay on time, their unit is automatically overlocked. There's a number they can call, they can process their payment, and then that unit is automatically unlocked for them, as well as allowing their keypad to be liberated, which then, that all of that is done without the actions of any human involved. So you reduce labor costs pretty substantially. Fragmented market. This is one of the main reasons I came into this industry. There was a 2017 study that tried to figure out how many self-storage facilities there were in the United States. They came out to about 52,000. We know now that that number has increased just with the increase in development between 2017 and 2026. So right now we're estimating between 65,000 and 70,000 self-storage facilities. But the thing that's important to look at is the industry ownership. So 20% of the facilities in the United States are owned by the 6 largest publicly traded REITs. These are names that you're familiar with: Public Storage, Extra Space, CubeSmart, U-Haul, those types of guys. 10% are owned by the next 100 largest operators. I'm part of this cohort here, right? So that means that around 70% of the facilities in the United States are owned by mom and pop operators. These are people that own 2 or fewer self-storage facilities. Many times they are the ones that are sitting behind the desk at the facility operating it themselves. They become friends with their tenants. They don't charge late fees. They allow large unpaid balances to accrue. So these are all opportunities to get in and buy a self-storage facility that has a lot of meat on the bone that you can systemize and institutionalize using these technology platforms, including artificial intelligence. And we can cover some of that later if you guys would like. In addition, a lot of these mom and pop owners are of retirement age, and in some cases, they're already on their 2nd or 3rd retirement, and they just want to take their money and run and go travel around the world. And usually, in order to do that, they are willing to do some type of creative financing or creative deal structuring in which that we can get into these facilities with low to no down payment, much lower than market interest rates, in some cases 3 to 5% interest only for balloon payments of up to 10 to 12 years. So there's a lot of opportunity in this trend of aggregating these smaller facilities into larger portfolios and then selling them up the feeding chain. And then the 3 T's. This is what kept me up at night when I ran a habitation-based portfolio. We had just shy of 70 apartments. This is where all my problems came from, even while using a third-party management company. So what I love about self-storage is that it has a very low break-even occupancy. You're looking at, for unleveraged assets, low to mid 30% will cover all of your operating expenses. If you have leverage, then you're looking at mid to high 60% occupancy, maybe low 70%, depending on what type of debt you're able to achieve on those assets. And then very low overhead. We have minimal utilities because, unlike apartments, I don't need to send plumbing and HVAC and electrical to every one of the units. Usually the only thing that you're going to have is for the office, if you have one. That's the only place usually where there's a bathroom and there's, heating and cooling, and at least at human comfort levels, right? You can run a climate control facility, but you're not keeping it 7 degrees year round. You're probably keeping it 80, 85 in the summer and 60, 65 in the winter. So you save quite a bit on your utilities. There's no carpet cleaning. There's no painting. There's no leaky faucets. There's no winter HVAC failures. There's no hot water heater failures. I'm calling in today from Chicago. So, if your HVAC or your hot water tank goes out in the middle of February when it's negative 20 degrees, that is now a life or death situation, and you need to address it regardless of what the cost is. And if your, HVAC or hot water has gone out, most likely other people's HVAC and hot water have gone out, which means now you're competing for these contractors' time, which means they're going to surge price you. You want this fixed today? Fine, I'm going to charge you 6 times the rate that I usually charge when there isn't some type of large, freeze event or snowstorm, etc. So we aren't subject to these types of surge contractor pricing. Here's just a case study of that first self-storage facility that I was talking about. This is the reason I used the first self-storage facility I've ever done, is because I didn't know what I know now. So this is, if you were to go into this asset class, this is kind of what you can expect. When I bought this, the break even at purchase was a 35% occupancy without debt. It was 81% once I put debt on that facility. But then once I did the value add and we were ready to sell this self-storage facility, 28% occupancy covered the expenses, or another way to use this number is to call it an expense ratio. So 28% of my revenue went to paying all of the operating expenses. And then once you include a debt payments, I only needed about 64% occupancy in order for that facility to break even, not only from an operating standpoint, but from a debt payment standpoint. This is the biggest thing that usually converts a lot of people away from habitation-based real estate. And I say habitation-based real estate because it's not just rentals or apartments. It could be Airbnb, it could be mobile homes, anywhere where you have someone living inside of your assets, which inherently causes a lot of risk. We are guided by lien law or property law versus landlord tenant law, especially in places like Chicago, New York, LA, San Francisco. The laws are getting stricter and stricter and stricter on the landlords and allowing the tenants to really kind of push the envelope. We've had problems with what I call professional tenants, where they know the rules to a T, and they do things on purpose in order to extend the amount of time that they can live in your asset without paying rent until eventually you have some type of eviction. In some cases, that could be 8, 9, 10 months after they stop paying before you can get them out, not even including the lost rent. If they damage your property, then you're going to have a bunch of repairs that you need to be able to get done before you can put that property back on the market. When a customer stops paying, their access to their unit is automatically denied. And there's ways that you can do this. If you don't have a high-tech facility, use these red manager locks to overlock their units. If you do have a high-tech facility like the ones we build nowadays, they can't even get onto the grounds of the property because their keypad won't even open the fence for them. Or if it's a completely enclosed building, the keypad won't allow them into the building or into the elevator to get up to their floor, what have you. The auction, the belongings get auctioned off to pay back that back to rent and any additional fees. And these fees are set by statutory laws in the state compiled statutes. So lien fees, late fees, auction fees, all these types of things. And the turn for these is usually just sweeping the unit. And it's not us or our managers that sweep the unit. Typically, what we do is the person that bids on the auction to buy these materials inside of these delinquent units, they have to put up a deposit of anywhere between $200 to $500 that they only get back once they show proof of a broom swept unit. So usually they're the ones that are turning the unit for you, which means that within 30 to 45 days of the original date of delinquency, you already have a new customer in that unit. So a much faster turnaround time than what is usual in, let's say, habitation real estate, which can be 3 to 6 months on average.
Fernando,
very high.
Did
Yeah, go
anything
ahead.
change in Illinois from the regulatory perspective? It still requires a newspaper, right? To
Correct. Yeah. And it depends on which state you're in on how the announcements go out. Some states allow for online publication that a unit's going up for auction. Some states require that you put it into a regular newspaper. Some require that you put it into a legal newspaper. So it really just depends on the state that you're operating in.
Thanks.
So high sticky factor. Self-storage is one of those things where, because the nominal cost is much lower than, say, rent, when you are to increase the amount for that unit on a monthly basis, it usually doesn't make someone want to move. So let's say, for example, you raise the rent by 20% on a $150 unit. It's usually not worth the $500 plus dollars in cost to move to a new facility. You can think about renting a U-Haul truck and bribing your friends with pizza and beer to help you move some 3 old couches that you haven't sat on in 20 years, right? It's usually not worth it. So people just eat that cost. But that is a 13% increase to the bottom line with no corresponding increase in expenses. Now, let's look at the same number for a rental. Let's say you are renting a $1,500 a month apartment, which is in Chicago is extremely cheap. It's very hard to find rentals that are that low. Um, that 13% increase would be a $195 per month increase in rent. Do you think a tenant will stay if you increase the rent by $200 in 1 year? Probably not. They're going to move wherever they need to keep the rent the same or lower than what they were paying before. And in some cases, they're willing to move across cities or even to different parts of the state. The nice thing about self-storage is that you're not only just getting rent for the store, you're not getting profit just from the storage units. You can do car storage, RV storage, boat storage. You can sell locks, renter's insurance, moving supplies, packaging materials. You can have a FedEx satellite site, a printing services, a scanning services, cell towers, billboards, wine storage, truck rentals, private mailboxes, propane filling, ATMs, vending machines. All of these things produce profit to you, or in some cases without even any additional expense, because some other company will operate the main expense driving function, and then you get a cut. So, for example, renter's insurance, when we sell renter's insurance, it's required for our tenants to get renter's insurance. They can prove to us that they have renter's insurance within 30 days of renting one of our units. But if they don't, we automatically apply our own renter's insurance onto their account. And that renter's insurance, we usually get to keep anywhere between 60 to 90% of what is billed to the customer on a monthly basis, right? So that is no additional effort on our part. So, this this is why I like self-storage. High return, recession tolerance, great leverage, easier management, fragmented markets, low break evens, easy evictions, high sticky factors, and ancillary profit centers. But a lot of people say, well, hey, Fernando, that sounds all fine and good. Like, what are the downsides? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I'm going to show you how to mitigate those downsides. The first is that because this asset class has become attractive, back in the day, you'd be able to pick up self-storage facilities for 12, 15, 18% cap rates because it was not considered a traditional real estate asset. But now, because it's becoming more attractive, cap rates are compressing, and it is creating a competitive acquisition environment. In addition to that, you are now starting to see a lot of general brokers moving into specialized self-storage brokerage only, where they only work in the self-storage field, which ends up stripping a lot of upside. So one of the solutions to that is to go off market, either go direct to seller or use some type of wholesaler to find your self-storage facilities, as opposed to going retail, and then to buy facilities that there is a value add component where you can force appreciation, as opposed to just buying stabilized assets and hoping that inflation raises your rents over time. The second big issue is oversaturation. There is a land grab by the large entities to just stake flags into a market, knowing that it may not be profitable right now, but it may be profitable in, let's say, 5 or 10 or 15, 20 years. So because self-storage has a much cheaper construction cost on a square foot basis versus, let's say, habitation-based real estate, I could put up a self-storage facility for anywhere between $60 to $120 a foot, depending on the grade that I'm building. Whereas if you're going to build an apartment building, on the low end, you're at $250 a foot. And on the high end, if you go very luxury, you can get up to that $450 a foot, while both produce roughly the same type of rent per square foot. So that is very attractive to those that had a lot of money, were investing in let's say, the apartment market, and now are seeing that those returns are not there. They're willing to pivot into a cheaper build industry like self-storage. So this causes the supply index to drop year over year. Supply index is just a measure of how saturated a market is. It's typically measured by the total net rentable square footage in a market divided by the population in that market or that trade area, whatever it may be. So the solution to this is, the importance of underwriting and getting feasibility studies. You don't want to build into a market just because you bought some cheap land. If all the competitors are 50% occupancy and run a bunch of specials, that means that market is probably oversaturated, and it doesn't matter if you were able to get land for $1, because the self-storage facility is not going to be able to operate at a level that you'd want it to. And then the last thing is, REIT competition. These guys are huge. They're billion-dollar companies. They have unlimited capital needing deployment, and because of their tax structure, the real estate investment trust, they need to either use or distribute the majority of the capital that they make in a given year to retain that favorable tax structure. The other thing about REITs is they typically have longer investment timelines. They can invest in a 30-year play, whereas typically my investors want their money in and out of a deal within 3.5 appreciation in a short period of time. The solution to that is usually going to secondary and tertiary markets versus primary markets. So for any of those people that are familiar with the Chicagoland area, as opposed to trying to buy land and build property in the Loop, you go out to Naperville or you go out to Aurora or Joliet. It's still technically in the Chicago market, but it's not a part of Chicago. It's 45 minutes, an hour outside the city. I like to call these, bedroom communities. These are the people, this is where people live and then they commute into the major cities for work. These are really great markets to go after when you're trying to compete against these REITs. So that's kind of my presentation. Here's my contact information. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. This is our website. So with that, I will turn it back over to Andy. If I could figure out how to stop sharing here.
Yeah.
There we go.
Thank you, Fernando, for sharing. And I see Thomas is there. So Thomas, I'm gonna share your webpage, and you can talk in a behind the scenes. I think it's gonna be easier. Let us know where you're at in a world again.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
I can get some echo here because I'm not in the office, as you can guess. I like to play tennis, so this time I just visiting Cincinnati Open, second round. Right now actually you have number 5 in the world. Maybe you know this gentleman. His name is Novak Djokovic, playing third set on a center court. So I just stepped.
Thank you for stepping out and joining us for the conference for a few minutes.
That's right. I hope he moved to the next round so I can see him again in a couple of days. But anyway, well, thank you for having me. And today's not going to be too long. It's going to be short thing. But just want to bring you to the speed what's going on actually in Florida on our market right now. Actually, we're in the process of almost concluding our process of receiving new permits for 3 new projects actually. So about to start in a couple of weeks. So far the projects that's in the motion, they moving pretty good. Everything is scheduled. The weather sometimes on and off, especially in Florida, and that time of the year when we get a lot of rain, almost basically every day. However, we're managing that and moving forward, right? So I guess that's the part of what we do. What else? Guys, real estate is a great business to be in. See, I'm a perfect example. When I can be on the tournament and still work, my business is growing. We obviously it's a weekend, so we still work Saturdays some cases. However, everything is continuous every single day. So we can stay on schedule. We can have more projects to offer to our customers, and be able to actually market ourselves and then create more opportunities for investors, for sellers, for buyers.
So Thomas, tell us where you exactly at. I'm looking at Sarasota is main place where you are actually building the properties and looking to sell them, obviously. So talk about this market. Why Sarasota? What is so great about that location?
Well, I can bring you to the speed. I mean, I ended up in Sarasota kind of a little bit by accident. I would say 40 years ago now, 40 and a half friend of mine invited me over to stay on Siesta Key in a rental property with them for days. And, I just started to look around. It's very nice location-wise place, but at the same time, was still quiet. Looks like undeveloped, kind of like diamond in a rough, I could say. And that didn't give kind of was sitting on my back. Was still doing business in Chicago, and few years back, about 2018, I decided to pull the trigger, start looking more closely, pay attention what's going on in the market, and in fact, we got one property under the contract. But it requires substantial amount of money to be invested. One of my investors got cold feet. We were not able to secure the financing on time in a short period of time, and we have to let go of the project. But I didn't let it go. I mean, I still decided, to put some other funds and some other, money behind it. And finally, we secured our first project in 2021. Short after that, I got fully licensed in Florida. I was going to use some local developers to work with them together. However, people mentality in Florida is totally different than us in Midwest. They have time for everything. They business oriented, but they don't take any concerns as far as the project will be finished 8 months, 10 months, or 15 months. And as you know, Andy, in our business, timing is everything, especially in real estate, when you sell those projects, because when you build them and hold them, I mean, you can miss a little bit, you still should be okay. But if you decided to sell them, you miss the seller market versus buyer market. That's a big thing. And like we changed, the interest rate went up a lot, right? So a lot of people slow down. The prices kind of got flat, but it doesn't mean we cannot make money. We still can create opportunities and build those projects and sell them. However, it just requires more dedication, more detail-oriented people to find every single detail, not to overlook anything, to be able to put them together. But I don't want to get sidetracked here. So that's why when we start, I decided to get my license, and we put first couple of projects, then another round of projects. Now we on our, I would say, third round of projects, doing few at the same time. It's a good feeling to have. Like last fall, we got to the point we had more buyers than projects to sell. I mean, it's pretty nice. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to increase my my team and put some more people to work with us to be able to produce more real estate at the same time, because we actually more higher end market. Our projects usually start somewhere around resale value somewhere around 1.7 1.8 million and up. Right now the projects we are in a process, they are somewhere between 2.6 to 4 million, so they're very more expensive. However, they have premium locations, which that's what drives those prices up. And there's plenty of people on the market who will pay that premium price to being on the water, like we're doing one property on the water, when you can have your 30-foot boat basically by your house, and whenever you feel like you want to go on a ride and take your family, friends, and have some great time on a Sarasota Bay, which is a really great place to spend your weekends on. A lot of sandbars, turquoise, blue water. I mean, what not to like it? The only challenge we have to have all time to all those things, right? So we have to work harder, we have to work smarter. But when the time comes, we can actually enjoy ourselves. And like I'm enjoying myself today. I mean, all this weekend in Cincinnati, being able to see, best players in the world from the very close distance, performing on a court with some excellent results. It's pretty hot actually here. It's very humid. I was actually surprised, almost as humid as Florida. So I'm not jealous for those players. I mean, they just have to go through a lot of hard work to be able to win those points and so on. So that's where we at. We putting more projects together. We adding more investors. You guys can become part of it, and you can always go to our website where Andy will be able to connect you, how you can find us, how you can meet with us. We are available for meetings here in Florida as well as in Chicago, Illinois. I'm actually transferring myself pretty often. I'm usually once every 2 weeks in Chicago, if not more often sometimes, some cases. So that's where we at right now. The hurricane, what they say, season it's coming closely to the end. We did not have any hurricanes yet. I don't want to jump any hoops here. We still, I would say, another month, maybe to even 6 weeks of season. But water is not that hot actually in the bay. At least I was able to test it earlier on this week. So comparing to last year or 2 years ago when that hurricane happened, it's much cooler, which means technically lower chances or lower probability for hurricane to happen. But you never know, guys. We have to be always ready and be respectful to nature. Let's put it this way.
Yeah. You have to be ready, prepared, and strategically set for,
That's right.
for the changes. So
That's right.
if Fernando is still here, thank you, Thomas. Thank you for missing a game. Are you watching somewhere else on the TV? You know the game.
Well, I'm watching. I'm watching on the other end of. Maybe I can show you. They putting a live feed right here by the stadium.
Okay.
Sure, you can see it, but you know,
Yeah, it's not coming super clear. You know what?
I know.
Let's get to the quick discussion, because this is AI Impact Forum, and Fernando, are you still there? There you go. So you mentioned about the tools, about the technology. I really want to hone into this right now, how the technology is helping the operators right now, what the operators that do not leverage the technology probably need to learn, and basically what we are doing, we're closing that gap for the operators. That's the purpose of the whole Pure Experts ecosystem, to provide workshops and certification programs for the business owners, investors, and anyone that wants to get, well, out of the corporate, maybe, because you can retire probably, you know, you can retire so safely, having maybe $300,000-$400,000, and really you don't need more money, because that's the efficiencies that we are getting. So I really wanted to ask you guys, where do you guys see AI? Do you see it as a bubble or something else? So Fernando, I know that you're using a lot of technology in setups, and that's because you're getting the efficiency there. And I would not even think about it any other way.
Yeah, so historically, self-storage has been a laggard when it comes to implementing technology. I mean, even to this date, when I'm buying some of these mom and pop facilities for, in between the $1 to $3 million range, or $1 to $5 million range, there's times where when we ask for financials and for occupancy statistics, someone mails us a yellow legal pad, as opposed to using QuickBooks and property management softwares. But as far as the kind of more advanced technology that we're using nowadays, AI is a big piece of that. So just like the dot-com boom and bust, there were companies that came out on the other side that are now massive billion-dollar companies. Google, Yahoo, Amazon, things like that. So I think it depends on where in the AI ecosystem you're looking. I think applied AI is a great space to be in. So for example, applied to self-storage, we have a software that it kind of does three things for us. So the first is that it goes through all of our rent rolls, and it assigns a numerical value between 1 and 10 on how likely someone is able to absorb a rent increase. And it does this based on a lot of factors. So, for example, if you have someone that is, paying late every month with cash or with, money orders, and they're posting on publicly available social media accounts on how, they're falling behind on their bills, or they're in the hospital, that person is probably going to be scored lower in the fact that they most likely cannot absorb a higher rent per month. Whereas, let's say you have someone that pays with an Amex Platinum every month on auto payment, and they're posting on their social media channels, that they're flying in first class and they're taking a vacation in Bali, or they're watching a championship tennis game somewhere right now. If this is available online, the AI will go and scrape that information and say, hey, this person is probably going to be scored a 10, a 9 or a 10, and most likely we can raise their rent pretty substantially, anywhere between 10 to 40, 50%, and they may not even notice it, because they don't even check their monthly statements on what is being paid and when. So that is one of the three functions. There's another function where we are now starting to do what the airline industry does. you know, if you're getting a plane from here to New York, it's a plane from here to New York, but that doesn't mean all the seats are the same, right? If you're buying those flights right before Thanksgiving, as opposed to buying them 8 months before Thanksgiving, you're going to pay much higher amounts. So there's this demand-based pricing based on internet search results and how many people are searching for self-storage near your location, and the AI can actually adjust the demand pricing based on that. And then in addition, just like on the airlines, you can pay for first class, you could pay for premium economy, or you could pay for, basic economy. And those, even though it's the same plane going to the same place on the same date, you have different pricing. And the same thing happens with self-storage now. We have kind of a good, better, best model. Let's say that we market a 10 by 10 unit for $100 a month. Well, that 10 by 10 unit for $100 is on the third floor, as far away from the elevator as possible. Now, if you want something on the third or second floor right next to the elevator, that may be $110 or $120 a month. And if you want something on the ground floor right next to the entrance gate or the entrance door, that may be $140 or $150 a month. It's all 10 by 10 units, but people will pay for a better location, just like people will pay for a better location on an airplane. And what we find is that depending on the market, we have a click-through rate of anywhere between 30 to 50% of people going with the upselled unit, even though it's the same amount of storage space. And then finally, the last piece is dynamic pricing based on what your competitors are doing. If you notice that all of a sudden all of your competitors are charging $20, $30, $40 more than you are, that means that there's an opportunity for you to also raise your rates to be in line with the competition. A lot of these older mom and pop operators, they're not checking what the competitors are charging for the competing units, let alone checking it on a monthly, weekly, daily, hourly, or by minute basis like this technology does for us. So that's just one of the many AI implementations that we have used in our company and continue to use. And then even on the other side of the business, which is, let's say, the investor relations and capital raising side, we use softwares that now, for example, I have just shy of 1,000 investors. If I had to manually upload each investor's K1 statements by opening up the K1 to make sure it was them and then putting it into their account to make sure I'm not crossing paths and people aren't getting other people's financial tax documentation, that would take me 6-7 hours. Whereas now I can use AI, that the AI will read all of the documentation. It will automatically assign which investor goes to which document and then upload those files to each of those investors. So now for just shy of 1,000 investors, it takes maybe 30 seconds to do document matching, upload, and to outlay all of those tax documentation. So see, and we use it in all facets of our life: presentations, lender files, loan request proposals, equity request proposals, property management request proposals. All of this, we are implementing artificial intelligence to further make our time efficient and then drop the amount of labor costs that we have to pay for on a monthly basis.
And the question that I have for Thomas, that's the same question, but I know you doing this different. But Thomas, I told you that the solutions that I wanted to provide to you will be based on the hardware, because that's what I see right now, and I think that's important to make sure that you always have the proper guardrails, proper policies set up on that computer. I don't think you really need much more robust system than what can be really set up from the perspective of intake and really depending on how we're gonna set up the automations that are gonna be helpful in your organization. We still need to get this done. So I know that your life is busy, and I hope that we'll be able to set it up within the next few months and be able to present this by maybe November or December of this year. The deployments are super quick, and that's what we really do. It's a 30 days deployments, or we can set it up even quicker. but that requires even more time through the conversation. So those are the setups that we are building for the operators, not necessarily for everybody, but the workshops and certification programs that we have, well, are simple, and we try to do it live as well. But you always have the portal, and you always and we really use the technology for ourselves to make sure that the students, members, and clients are really taken care of, and they always get the latest information, the solutions that are gonna be built. What I started doing probably about a year ago, it's different than getting a software. I am building the software of my own, right? It's a custom solutions that we provide with all the knowledge that can be still connected to all the databases. And that's the biggest advantage of creating those individual hubs for the business owners that communicate between the other hubs to create the opportunities. So that's really what I'm gonna be starting to explain on Monday with the different videos, because those solutions exist right now, and it's a mindset shift change, the same way as we were talking about workplace violence prevention yesterday. It's a mindset shift change to start leveraging it and using it in your business. I know that looking for and training your employees, I think that's the most important, because the deployments that I am doing, it's really specifically so I can train you as a business owner, as well as employees that are there, because you need to communicate with them at the same language. So it's usually just ensuring that everyone is on the same page. We do it in those 4-week deployments with the workshops. So Thomas, I'm not gonna be holding you because I know that the game is running. I will come back to Fernando for a few more questions. But Thomas, let me know if we can do follow up maybe within a week, so we can have more conversation, and hopefully in front of computer, so we can really get to the nitty gritty and presenting the actual stuff that we can help from the alliance perspective. Because as I mentioned, we are building the alliance. Alliance is something that is supportive structure, so you will always get the same information, and everyone that is joining the alliance will have the same opportunities, and the information sharing starts from that perspective. So, and
Definitely, Andy. We'll have more time next week when I'll be back to business. Let's put it this way. However, yeah, I mean, our structure of our business unique in the sense of every project we build is different. We're not, let's say, Lennar developer who's building 60,000 the same basically houses. They different by a few square feet. They have 4 or 5 models, and they're doing paste and copy. Each the project I do it's different. It's custom. Has special features that none of them has it. That's why I was laughing at it. That's why we have to charge so much. So.
But that's good that you have to charge, and I showed the project, so beautiful design and the quality of work, and I think that's what I can say about Thomas. Quality of work is there because he is actually always on the job site. He's actually checking
lately, yes and no. Actually, what I try to do, I try to delegate, like we discussed that, and try to implement more situations. What I try to do, I try to spend more time with people who are not actually physically on the projects. Yeah, work with designers. Lately we are in the process of adding another member possibly to our team. We didn't sign any contracts yet per se, but ladies kind of on the trial basis when we do some drawings and ideas that she sees versus what we see. But each person who's in a team can bring more to the table. I don't know all the solutions or the ideas we can put. Sometimes it takes 1 or 2 people to create 4 and 5 people to create 8, and that's how it goes. But definitely, it will be pretty important for us to kind of streamline the process so we can create more projects, kind of unique projects, but at the same time, have enough product on the market so we can market to our buyers because it's a long process to build one custom home and takes only 2 hours to close it. And a lot of people don't realize that but to get to the 2 hour closing, it's a different story. So you want to make sure you're not going to overshoot yourself or overinvest or underinvest. One of those things. So we'll be talking more about it in our next meetings. But definitely great to hear you guys and enjoy the rest of the meeting. I gotta get going. We have a couple of games left in this third set, so let's see who's gonna take it. One more good thing for you, just to let you know, today is kind of Polish day on the tournament. We have already 2 Polish games, both Magdalena Frank and Maja Chwalińska. They won. They moved to the third round. I was on both of those games, and in just a few minutes after Mr. Djokovic leave the center court, if he win or lose, we will see in a few minutes. Mr. Hubert Hurkacz will take the center court here in Cincinnati, try to move to the third round as well. So we'll see what's going to happen.
All right. Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Fernando, for coming back. It was designed to be a calm presentation, but everything is live, right? So everything what we do live is it's hard to control, and we need to adjust. So let's talk about it. How that AI is helping you to stay calm and adjust. Because do you see that as something that is calming, or as something that can create a havoc in a universe, which I hope it's not. I'm looking forward to changes and the efficiencies that are coming from this. And I think United States is quite well prepared with the actual paperwork that makes sense, right? So the big beautiful bill is actually quite focused on AI, on a infrastructure. So from the legislative process, do you care to comment on that?
Yeah, so I think it's not just one of those things where you just open up ChatGPT and start typing. There is an education process that you need to go through for prompt engineering, and it can be for business, it could be for a therapist if you want. You're talking about is this something that makes me calm or not? What I like to use it as is almost as a kind of senior strategy advisor. So I have to feed it the inputs that make sense for it to be able to act like that, and then I need to be able to give prompts that make it think strategically in a way where it has an expertise in decision analysis, opportunity cost assessment, and high stakes planning. I don't want it to just be a yes man. So you have to clarify, I say, ask 3 to 5 clarifying questions to understand my context deeply, identify, let's say 2 to 3 of the highest leverage actions specific to the situation that I'm asking about, not just general best practices. And then, for each action, why does it matter more than, let's say, the other 20 things that you're suggesting? So I always want a ability to bounce ideas off of it based off of the data set that I feed it. And then I want it to, not only challenge any faulty assumptions I'm making, but then also to rank recommendations of next steps by impact and feasibility. And instead of telling me, what is actions A to Z, I want to know what is the next action that I need to do that's going to have the most, 80-20 result. And then once I'm done with that action, I'll come back and say, okay, I completed this. Now what is next? Just to keep me focused and centered, because, there is such thing as analysis paralysis. Let's say you want to build a new platform. What is the very, very first step that you need to focus on to build that platform? So, I find that it allows me to leverage not only the data that I have, and for it to compile it in a way that allows me to almost get consultant level responses, something that you would have to pay, Ernst & Young, thousands and thousands of dollars an hour, and it can do basically the same thing as long as you know how to build those prompts and feed it the correct data sets. So, I think there are a lot of bubble type investments out there around the AI craze, but then I think there's also a lot of progress that's being made and efficiencies that are being made if you know how to use it appropriately.
So that's why, starting with the workshops, it's easy, but everyone can do it by themselves right now. That's the problem, and opportunity. I look at this as an opportunity to guide somebody to make sure that you do it right. Because of the consultancy, it's easier to ensure that we set up the proper guardrails, proper policies. If you are entrepreneur, solopreneur, and you make your decisions yourself, it is really a powerful guide as well. If you set it up like Fernando mentioned correctly, with there's hallucination, there are issues, right? They are designed to be basically being your yes man, and give you all the data that you want to hear. So sometimes really changing the pattern and going from something completely different and really jumping in between the models, that is quite important, because one model is going to give you those solutions, but the other one is not going to be the best for the long runs of crunching the numbers or doing the uninterrupted research that now is quite possible with those tools. So that is the most attractive thing for me, is like setting up the agents that they actually resolve some problems, and they're completely set up in a loop that it works. So that's why we're doing this for the financial institutions as well, because it's all secure. We put the protection, and we know how to set it up. So I think the most fun will be still to be doing the AI family resilience programs, because those are kind of entry points and really talking about operations, sales, marketing, and then finance. And I mentioned about health and wellness, and we got just 4 minutes to wrap it up. So I'm just not gonna talk about health and wellness anymore today. I will do more sessions. I'm actually gonna have one more session today, so I'll record a little bit more about that health and wellness opportunities. And I think we covered the whole ecosystem within the 3 days. There is a value and there is an opportunity for anyone that wants to talk or reach out to other individuals. If you are an investor, if you're looking for the properties and you're looking for something in a self-storage asset class, I can recommend probably several other investors, but Fernando is the one that will actually give you this the right way. It's gonna provide the value, provide the education, and it will not be a bait and switch type of conversation. You're gonna have the concrete information with that firm. And I still want to talk about, Fernando, the biggest benefit of this for the families. Can you talk about and I don't want to ask you about your investors, but if you can maybe talk in some numbers, what do you think is the biggest advantage for them? And I'm leaning and obviously thinking about the tax advantages of this asset class.
Yeah, I think even before the tax advantages, it's one of passive income, truly passive income. So, if you want to become my competitor, I'm more than happy to help you do that. But a lot of people find that, running a new business that you're unfamiliar with, there's a lot of headwinds, and you need to invest a lot of time and training to get to the point where you can operate and compete with those that have been doing it for 10, 20 years. So the mailbox money is great, because now you're making money while you're asleep through the efforts of somebody else that, let's say, is more adept at that industry than you are. The tax advantages are absolutely phenomenal. So most of our investors invest with us because of the tax advantages that we're able to push through. Primarily 3 different types of tax advantages. The first is going to be accelerated depreciation that comes via cost segregation studies. Typically, just with those alone, for every dollar invested, you can get anywhere between 60 cents all the way up to $2 back in bonus depreciation to offset any tax liabilities that you may have. In addition to that, we also do partial asset disposition. So this is when there is some type of construction program. If there is, let's say, a warehouse that we need to tear down, we can actually assign value to that warehouse and take that loss of that value when we're demolishing it, and we could pass those through to the investors. And then, the other main one that we use is Section 179 depreciation for equipment. Most people are familiar with Section 179 because of, let's say, work trucks or work vans, but portable self-storage units that can be lifted with a 5,000-pound forklift, we're also able to depreciate that entire asset in year one. So let's say I have a project right now in West Virginia where we'll be adding about $600,000 in portable storage containers, and those containers can be all depreciated in the very first year. So, let's say you're in the 37% bracket, that is a substantial savings just in the very first year of the investment, without even taking into consideration all of the profit that comes from the actual sale of that asset down the road.
That's cool. So you're basically doing a better modeling with this, because you can compound that knowledge and add those systems in place. So thank you, Fernando, for sharing this. And I'm just gonna say something. I would like to invite you to as a repeat, maybe within a month. We're gonna have probably more people coming in, and because that's what the ecosystem I'm building. I don't want to charge too much for this. This is gonna be based on a value that they're receiving, right? We got a trusted service provider network at the very kind of base price, but they're still getting a lot of great information. So that's great for the contractors that are in a market and really want to do their business. So slightly different, right? Slightly much more automated. And that's what we can teach them to do so, because that's basically a great time for the operators that got it, and they're running with it and then enhancing their operations. So that's part of the consultancy that I do specifically. So it's kind of a natural way of pulling out together and talking about your time. And for me, we didn't have a chance to talk about life really today, Fernando, but busy life, busy professionals, you always doing something fun, and planning and strategizing is a big part of the masterminding process as well. So I met Fernando through other mastermind program, and that is a way that some people can move forward very quickly, because they're getting that knowledge in a very, very short period of time. And that's what Jesse was talking about on a day one. We really have the solutions for the workplace violence that are done by the Center for Aggression Management. They are done completely different, but believe me, we're gonna be leveraging a lot of AI to make sure that this training will be repeated. And that's why I'm building this as that block by block AI safety and security alliance, so we can find some efficiency within the zip codes, and really those trusted service providers that will be communicating on a platform and having access to our applications. So applications I'll be presenting on Monday. That this is we got probably about 8 apps that are just for the business owners that save you time and make your life much easier on whatever you need to accomplish on that day. Real estate professionals, I think that's the most important group of those professionals, but we are specializing in that full brain cloning, making sure that for the real estate professionals doing the video avatars, just to extend your time on the media. And for the media creation, I think that focus is also still gonna be with the studios, building, acquiring, and expanding the studios, so the production of the good materials can continue. because I don't want to see too many AI avatars. I would rather see people on a camera. But now with the deep fakes and you will see the avatar that we are coming with as well for the co-living guy. So yes, the co-living guy will be my avatar fully, because I am just trying to extend myself a little bit from that educational perspective and knowledge sharing. And thank you, Fernando, for joining and showing up today and really talking about the great asset class that is still very, very in prime area. And thank you for specifying about those mom and pop situations, because that's where the opportunity is. But obviously it's off market, right? It's something that you can mine yourself or find yourself. You still need to have a good group of people that can guide you. So go ahead and check SSSE. And for Thomas, I'm gonna be sharing more information with his network because of what we'll be building for Thomas. It's a different group. With Fernando, I wish you a great time. Good luck with everything, and hopefully I'll see you maybe within a month or two for some structured program that I would like to propose to you. Have a great day.
All right. Thanks. Talk to you soon, Andy.
Thanks. So Sal, I think I'm just gonna close this off fully for today. Thanks to everyone that was watching and paying attention, because I know what's gonna happen right now. We're gonna chunk it out. We're gonna have the videos. All those videos will be processed. We're gonna put it in that community portal. So the community portal is really where everything is gonna go now as a reference with the contact information and everything else that we are doing. Just wanted to see if I had anything for Thomas over here. Yeah, I'll just leave you with this. This can still get you free access to the Q&As, to the open office hours during the week. But if you are a business owner or looking for the solutions, we are expanding also our Go High Level University. So the Go High Level is one of the tools that is used for the automations. I just know that this is an easy enough tool that we are basing some of the curriculums or syllabuses on that. So that education will go hand in hand with the portal access as well as access to those applications that we have. And I think the most fun and the most important aspect of this is that those applications are now performing and they can be built for any new trusted service provider that would like to participate, leverage that network. And anything else? I know that I covered quite a lot over the last 3 days. What we can do to help you from that Total TV perspective, from the marketing perspective, to grow your business. We're still gonna be pushing a lot of messages, a lot of promotions, but Sal has been doing something fantastic over the last 6 months as well. He started creating those avatar videos for the business owners and really started creating also that ecosystem that provides value to others. So thank you, Sal, for doing this. And those that are available, I will still turn on the 6:30 p.m. for those that would like to ask questions. And if you're gonna get access to the portal, that's gonna be available next week, starting with Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Because Monday, I'm gonna actually do different meetings, but they are still gonna be quite purposeful. On Monday between 2 and 4, we're gonna be doing follow-ups, and if anyone has questions right now, we've been displaying this on a TV. We're gonna have even more promotions, because now you can actually come and join us and ask the questions, and I will still give you all the information through the promotional materials that we have as a downloadable materials on our websites. Call us, check the QR code, and the programming starts really every month. We also start those cohorts, so I think that that's the most important to understand, that the cohorts is a concentration of few business owners that want to work on the solutions for their businesses, but also at the same time upskill the employees, or upskill and provide the training or AI campus or AI academy under your organization. So it's not only the principal and the big boss is taking the training. We need to make sure that those trainings are disseminated throughout the organizations, and we do that with the simple solutions, simple programs like workplace violence training, safety training for the employees, and then we can really move in other strategies, because that would make sense for that organization. So thank you, Sal. Thank you, everybody that been watching. Looking forward to actual conversations. We are planning to do, I think on Fridays, Sal, if you're gonna be okay with that, on Fridays, I will start inviting security professionals, because I need to create that podcast for the elderly, basically from the security, safety, and just being careful. And we'll be doing like a explainer videos, making sure that they're nobody is taking advantage of the individuals that basically are by themselves. And that's why I also talked about that caregiving. So if you are taking care of your parents, or really are caregiver, looking for caregivers to train to become virtual caregivers, to enhance your opportunities in a marketplace, as well as opportunities for your family. Because again, training can be done now within just a few hours. We can do it fully virtually, and you don't have to go to a 4-year program or university. I strongly encourage higher education. Is, that's where all the ideas are coming from, right? You need, in order to build the vision, you need to understand something. And then when you have a vision, then you're going after that vision. AI can help you, because believe me, it helped me a lot to compartmentalize the information, and then being able to build segments by segments, and then deploying them as needed. So thank you, Sal, and I'm looking forward to our next conversation. Please think about this ecosystem environment as always on. We are always on right now, and we are always connected. If you want to have a conversational access, everything will stay on that AI 2026 platform until the end of this year. We got domains for the 2027, so we're gonna switch it to the 2027 next year. But this is gonna be that cohesive platform, and I just gonna close it off with showing the dashboard for this, because I changed a little bit just to make it a little bit easier to organize. And so those are different Zoom rooms. So the main one is here. But if somebody is gonna call me, hey Andy, I need the tech check, we'll be in a tech check. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday open office hours are happening here as well. So if you come back to this portal, you will be able to hit Tuesday. I will add the countdowns and the timers, so everything is clear of when each meeting is here as well. Plus, we can always go back and do something similar on a Zoom. And yeah, on LinkedIn, I think if you are a business owner, the easiest way to get more information from me, I think it is on LinkedIn, because everything there is really professionally developed, and we write a lot of articles and posts there as well. So if you're looking for the solutions, believe me, we got solutions, we got answers, and you can really learn how to apply it in your ecosystem, in your life, so you can get to the work-life integration sometimes, so you can enjoy your life the way that you want to, and it's possible right now in 2026 for most of the families, and looking forward to the connections with you. Thank you.
Donation for the development of Total TV. Everything depends on you, and we depend on you. We will return the favor with truthful information.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Total TV Sports Spotlight. I am Katie, and tonight we are diving into the thrilling world of sports from right here in Chicago, across the United States, and around the globe. As we head into the heart of this exciting summer, the energy in our city and on the international stage is absolutely electric. Let us start with the local action in Chicago. The Chicago White Sox are battling hard at Guaranteed Rate Field, facing off against the Athletics this weekend. Fans are showing up in force to support our Southside team as they push through a challenging season. On a very positive